To become, you have to be willing to give up who you were. Now, let me give you an example of what I think this means. Um, to become a star athlete, you have to be willing to give up the laziness. You have to be willing to give the person who gives up after 10 minutes of running. Um, to be in the dean's list at school, you have to be willing to give up the person who never studied, who always said that math isn't my subject or English isn't my subject. I hate math. I hate English. You have to be willing to give up that old you to become the person who although disliked math at first or wasn't able to write well at first can now um, write stories that will inspire others, or just a well structured essay, and then someone who could solve any equation you put in his or her face. Now, sacrifice. Eric Thompson, I believe that's his name. E.T. Inspires. Check him out. Um, he gives a speech about sacrifice, and he says um, you have to be willing to sacrifice who you are for what you could become. So let's take for example the math. Um, I'm not good at math. Well, that's because you never studied. You never um, saw a book. You'll see your math equations, and you automatically said you cannot do it. Like you hadn't even tried. You're not even trying, and you already say you're failing. You're already giving up. So that now the new you has to be willing to study, has to be willing to go to your tutors, see your professor after after hours, and then, or for example, I'm not good at writing. I'm not good at English. Well, that's because you never written before. You never bothered to um, take a write an essay the way you think it should be written. You sometimes you just bullshit and just write whatever, not making sense. Um, so the old you, that's who you were. You didn't care. Now the new you has to see um, the bigger picture. Has to not only see the 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 next turn, but has to have an image of where you want to go. For example, um, you're going to your school. You're going home, and when you think about going home, um, sometimes you get detours. You take a different street you never taken before, um, or on the bus, you take a different route. Now, your image in your head is I'm going home, and what you see in front of you is just new ways, if it's a detour, it's just a new way to get there, but you will always get there. So now, the old you was used to going, go down the street, make a left on 3rd Street, keep going a few blocks down, make a right on, Manic Avenue, whatever. That's the old you. Now, the new you has to be willing to give up that when there's a challenge in front of you and go over the challenge and get to where you need to get. Um, that's probably like the worst analogy, but you know. Um, so now, let's say for example, your physical condition. Who from where you are now to where you want to be. Let's say you want, let's say for guys, you want to have more muscle. You want to be, more muscular, and girls, you want to. I'm pretty sure girls they just want to tone up, because well, no, the lower half for girls is more important to them, but you just want to tone up. So now the old you, what the you that you are today is caused by the was created from your old thoughts and actions that we did back then, and that's who you are today. The past you makes your present, and the present you makes your future. So the old you um, will see a bag of chips and eat it over an apple, over vegetables. The old you will feel like running or feel like working out, but instead go out for drinks. The old you would go to the gym one day, lift weights, be sore the next day, and say, no, it's just too much, it hurts. I'm not gonna keep going. The old you would, get drunk, get high, or whatever, and just stuff your face, not thinking about what's gonna happen the next day. Um, that's the old you, and that's where you are right now. Um, Now, the new you today um, has to be willing to give up the old habits, your old thoughts, your old feelings of yourself. That if you're not worthy, that if you don't believe in yourself, that this is who you are because genetically you're not gifted, or the old you has to be the old you who felt a little pain just ran away. Um, the new you has to be willing to look at that pain and welcome it because the pain is part of your reward. You're already in pain, might as well get a reward from it. The pain of looking at yourself and not being happy, that's a pain. Or would you rather have the pain of being in the gym, the pain of your stomach hurting because you're running so much, but your reward will be you have a better body. You feel better about yourself. Which pain would you rather take? The pain of waking up and and 10 years from now or 5 years from now you just look worse or you feel worse, or the pain that you go through, what, 2 hours a day or an hour a day working out, to 10 years from now you be happy that you went through that pain because now you've always felt better than you always did. um, Pain may last for a minute, for an hour, or a day, or even a year. But if you quit, however, it will last forever. You're already in pain. Get a reward from it. Um, so that's the old you. Sacrifice who you are, who you were, for what you can become. And example for me. Um, I was, if you know me, I was I was fat, obese, overweight. I don't know if I was obese, but I was pretty fat. Back in elementary, I think I was like fifth grader. I was like I remember clearly. I was 175 pounds in fifth grade, and from ending high school, I've gained 10 pounds, so I was like roughly 185. Um, but think about it. You're a fifth grader compared to a senior, and you've 10-pound difference. That's a lot of weight that I used to be. And so what I did, you got to find something that motivates you. I had my motivation, and what motivated me was, well, girl. Uh, she motivated me um, to do things that my old me wouldn't do. The old me would be at home and watch cartoons and eat. Just go to the liquor store and eat, buy some chips and soda or whatever. And then the me that I saw myself that I could become, that I wanted to become, decided to let go of that. Obviously, things did help me out. Like I moved, so there was no liquor store down the street. It was actually further, so I didn't want to walk. So that did help. um, that actual laziness did help. That I didn't want to walk to get some chips. And then I just ate around stuff in the house. We have a bunch of fruit, so I always eat fruit. That's my the the sweet tooth took care of that. So now, as you go along, you're gonna see that all the pain or the pain of not having like chips or whatever, it's worth it because you could have something that make you feel better. Um, and then you also start seeing that how things around you, as you have that image, as you stay positive. It's important to stay positive, that you believe in yourself. You see all these things coming to you to help you get over whatever challenge you're going through. but you have to be willing to give up the mentality of I can't, I never will, and I can't, I never will, and um, it's impossible. But and change the mentality to yes I can, yes I will, and see impossible as I'm possible. You know, it says it in its name. I'm possible. So um, you'll see. You'll see once you start becoming different that you'll feel different and you'll thank yourself. You know, owe it to the future you to feel better, and it starts today. So just think about it. Think about who you want to become in years from now, and don't let time discourage you because time is gonna pass by whether you want it or not. You know, time doesn't wait for anyone. Um, the time's gonna pass from now 4 years to get a degree or a year to get into the shade. The time is gonna pass no matter what. So might as well do it. So when the time comes 4 years from now, you have the degree, or you're in better shape than you were a year um, from now, uh, from the past. Um, it's gonna happen. So might as well just do what you have to do and be where you want to be. Feel good. Okay, so as always, be happy, love yourself, love everybody, because just as people are bad, people are also good. And if we learn to see what's good in every one of us, then life will be beautiful. So follow your bliss.